Okay, so I just finished my finals, yay. Third year of college done, which is great. Um, but for some people, it was actually their fourth year of college done, which means they're graduating. And I was lucky enough to take some grad photos for some of my friends. And today's video, I wanted to kind of go through my editing process for the photos, and I kind of want to get a Porta 400 look is what I was told to kind of get. So we're gonna go through that today. I'm gonna show you kind of my settings, what I would do in Lightroom, and then hopefully some of you guys like the photos and ask me to take them for you for a cost, and that'd be great. But really, I just want to take these so that I could kind of have a portfolio for it, do it with my friends is kind of a fun thing, and then really sad that they're leaving, but I will be showing you their photos that we took. It took about an hour just to take these. Not too bad. I used a Sony A7S III, I believe, and a G Master 28-105 lens, I believe. So without any further ado, let's go straight into the video and kind of what I'm gonna walk you through it, kind of explain what I'm doing, and then we'll kind of go from there. So let's get to the photos. Okay, so we're gonna add the photos to Lightroom here. We're gonna go, so they're right here, and we're just gonna use all of the raw photos, drag them in here. And we're gonna use this to kind of edit our photos. So I took some notes here, if you see, on how to get this look, and loading in all these photos right now. And let's see which ones I want to do first. It makes it kind of easy after I edit a few of these to kind of just copy and paste my edits around. So let's find a good one. I think this one's pretty good. I don't know which one's better. One of these. I like this one. Let's do this one. So, okay, so going to the curves, what I'm doing here is I'm bringing down the light. So the white, so I'm bringing it down a little. You can see it gets a little more gray. And then for the blacks, I'm doing the same thing, just flattening it out a little bit. And then here, I'm gonna bring up the darks a little bit, just because it makes a better curve here. And I'm gonna do that. So if you look right here, that's what my little curve means. We're gonna go to color grading. And what I wanna do is find global. And the reason I'm doing global is because the whole thing, I wanna give a more yellowish hue. So if you see, that's probably a little too much, but a little bit yellow here will give it a warmer kind of look. It'll go a little bit less. Let's see, about here should be good, 24. The next thing I'm gonna do is calibration. So it'll be hue, color mixer, and it's gonna be hue. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the blues, lessen the blues here. So if you take a look at their stoles, right? So this is directly opposite of what the color is gonna be on there. So I'm gonna lessen the blues here. It's gonna make it a little bit more aqua-y. And I'm gonna bring, let's see, blue, green, and red according to my notes. So green, I'm gonna go down on the hue also. So if you notice, the greens are getting a little bit warmer here because this green is saturating it more, and then opposite. So if you look at the wheel, it kind of does the opposite colors that you see on the wheel here. I don't know if that really makes sense. Probably not, but that's what I'm doing here. And then the next thing I'm gonna do, last thing I'm gonna do is red. I'm gonna give it a little bit more hue just to give it just a tiny bit of some warmth, just because that's kind of how the photos come out looking like when you do Porta 400. And after that, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to I'm gonna go to clarity. So, and just give it a little bit of dehaze. So if you look at this before and after, right? If you look at the brights, dehaze is kind of giving it a misty kind of look, and I'm gonna go down on the clarity also. And the clarity is what gives it this kind of, it's called halation. So it's like a bright, I did too much on the clarity. So halation is kind of this film look where stuff becomes brighter, and light is imperfect. So if we go to here, right, if you look at this, how the light is interacting with this house, it's kind of bleeding over the edge, which is what you kind of see with film. And that's kind of what we wanted to do. So like on their faces here, if we hold here and then show, the light, it starts to bleed onto them. And that gives it this kind of look. So if you take a look at this before here and this after, you get way more of this Porta 400 kind of look. And I think that's exactly what we're going for. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna copy settings here, and we're just gonna copy it to this one, just to see kind of what it looks like. Looks a lot better, but I don't think I like this photo as much as this walking one with them. It looks way better here. So we're gonna skip down to here. Let's see, this one. I don't really like these that much. I'm gonna skip down to here. They're all looking at the house. We'll just copy one of these here, and I don't know which one I like best. Let's see. We'll copy all three. 1, 2, 3. All right. I think I like this one best. We'll just export this one. They have a few like these where they're together. So a lot of when I do editing, I kind of, if it's on the same day and this kind of same area, I look for one photo that I want to edit first and then kind of go from there. So like these, since they're all in the same spot, all of the same lighting, I kind of just do one. And then after I do that one photo, I kind of use it to figure out the rest. I really like this photo too. I'm gonna paste the settings here, give it that look, a lot of luminance. The thing about these photos, so for me, I would have preferred if the lighting wasn't cloudy, because then this sky becomes a little bit more dynamic, and the white sky is not the best, but it's not the worst. It could be better. It's just kind of what it is. I don't think I like any of these photos more than any of the other ones. These photos I really love, and just, I mean, look at that, the colors, the low-key, the framing. Like I was cooking on these. I was cooking on these. This one, I'm looking at it, I just pasted my settings and it looks basically exactly how I would have wanted it to, and I'm just gonna export that right now. But when you're looking at these, it's kind of a judgment call. When you look, like seeing these kind of photos come out this way, especially with the foliage in the front and the bokeh and all these technical terms that I could say, I just think that this kind of edit kind of helps give it this film look. I think one thing I could do more is actually give it some grain, which now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have added grain to all of them. So I am gonna actually use this as the starting, and I'm gonna copy these, copy editing settings, and I'm gonna go back and paste to some of these just to give it some grain here. So kind of looking at these photos again is kind of nice, just because I haven't really looked at these yet. So when I'm looking at these photos, I guess I'll talk a little bit about my compositional thoughts. Like when I was taking this photo, I knew I was using a wide angle lens, kind of giving it that fisheye look. I knew I wanted their full body, and the main thing I'm looking at here is these angles, right? So these are leading lines. So what's happening is, in your perspective, this line is gonna end up way out here, and this line is gonna end up way out here, and there's a vanishing point somewhere around here. And I set up these, my friends, just in height order to kind of get this angled look, and then had them look this way to complete, following Geisel and that kind of idea. And that was just something I was thinking of when, I'm sitting there in front of the camera and I'm looking at the angles, and I want a low angle because I want this foreground here. I kind of want to split it up into parts. So foreground, midground, background. And in this case, the background of the sky being completely white actually does help in this scenario, because it gives it a blank kind of sheet look, which I thought was really nice. And this photo, same exact spot, not exactly the same idea, but following these lines, right? So this line here is just the same as this line here with their height. And it's just following, I don't really know if it's like a, you kind of learn this thing over time after you take a bunch of photos and you do that kind of stuff. But like looking at these, that's kind of my thought while I'm taking photos. And I wasn't really taking with the idea of I want to put them in this exact spot with this exact framing. Like I kind of was just there and taking photos. And I think that kind of came out with the best looking stuff, especially like this stuff. Like, you know, we're just joking around. I think I probably said a joke here that everyone started laughing at because I'm, you know, just so funny or something. But it makes it really easy when you work with your friends because, you know, you can just tell them what to do and they'll probably listen. But this specific photo, I told them I was going to edit hats in, and I'm just not going to do that. And it's just going to look stupid on purpose. And that's okay. That's honestly fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with, you know, letting your imagination run wild. So stuff like this, I really just wanted to get the film look here because I think that for this kind of idea, the main thing I was working with was giving it this kind of nostalgic kind of look. And that's, you know, I honestly think that I'm getting that with these photos. And it's kind of up to the photographer to do whatever they kind of want and make their photos their own. I know I talked to them and this is kind of the idea they liked. Dreamy, nostalgic Porta 400 look. And, you know, that's what I'm giving them. This great photo, Bleach, if you don't know, iconic staircase scene. For this photo, funny story, Alexandra's actually taking a work call because they just happened to call her during this time, and I think we just all kind of filed behind them and knew that we wanted to just mess around and take some photos. And like they turned out really well. They're fun. Okay, so I finished all of the photos here, so we're just gonna take a look at them and kind of go through. So yeah, like looking at this, just, you know, the little details of you know, the shifting colors and working with lighting and just working with what I have, and then, you know, the grain and the framing. Like this is my first time ever really editing photos like this, to be honest, and that's why I took notes and kind of looked up what this kind of film looks like specifically, and I think I did a pretty good job. I've never really done this before. I've never taken grad photos before, so this was two different firsts for me, and I honestly think that it came out really well. It kind of looks like it came out of film, and I think that's pretty fantastic considering, you know, I did it on a Sony A7S III that I was borrowing. It wasn't even mine. But yeah, these are some of the photos I took and some of the, you know, the work that we made together, and you know, they're graduating, so congratulations to them. But this is all, you know, all working. I think a lot of these photos work really well. The colors look good, and it just, you know, I think it's a great send off to give my friends as, you know, their grad gift together. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my video. Maybe I'll do something else like this soon, working with photography and kind of building my portfolio, especially over summer, since, you know, unfortunately, no internship. But that's great for all of you guys and great for all the viewers, because that means I have to make more YouTube videos. So
unfortunately, the audio cut out for the rest of the clip, but what I was going to say is, you know, hopefully I can make a few more videos than I normally would have, maybe 2, 3, 4 a month, something like that. And I was thinking about maybe doing some mini vlogs where I just, you know, kind of showcase me doing something throughout the day or throughout the week. And hopefully you guys would like that. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Let me know in the comments. But thanks for watching this video. If you want me to take some grad photos for you, and I'll probably start advertising for that, and maybe I'll have people pay for it and, you know, get some good grad photos. But, you know, if you're one of my friends, maybe I'll do it for free or for maybe 2 or 3 meals, since I looked at grad photo prices and they're pretty expensive. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.